Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a quick comic haul. I picked up a ton of books from an LCS having a dealer date, so they have a dealer come in, and it's a guy that I knew was coming. I knew he had a lot of great books, so I was super excited to roll right into it. So let's get started. We'll start off with Alex Ross Marvels #1. This is the first printing acetate covers, so pretty cool there. And we have Marvels #2. Nice. And we have Marvels #4. So couldn't pick up #3. So I got 1, 2, and 4. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Next, we've got a nice Wally Wood book, All-Star Comics #65 with the Super Squad. So check that out. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess I could feature these a little bit more, but I mean, everyone's seen these. These are kind of normal. It's been around a lot, so I don't see this one pop up too much. Some nice Wally Wood art with Power Girl there, so pretty cool. This next book is an upgrade book for me. It was House of Mystery #221. Great Bernie Wrightson cover. The one I have is really ragged out. Like, I only paid $2 for the one I have, so I didn't pay much for it. But this has got to be one of my favorite Wrightson covers ever. I just think it's absolutely perfect. I love the skeleton, whatever he is, riding the carousel. So I think, or the merry-go-round. I just think it's awesome. I just love it. So anyway, I don't upgrade books very often, but when I saw this book, I just couldn't resist, so I picked it up. Next, we got Thor 140. This book, when you first see this book, the first thing you notice is, wait a minute, Thor's battling a Sentinel. But that's not a Sentinel, that's the Growing Man. And this book actually comes out about a year after the Sentinels make their first appearance in Uncanny X-Men. So there's definitely, of course, the same artist, right? You got Kirby doing both. So when I first saw it, I was thinking, well, that's kind of a prototype Sentinel, but really it's not. It just looks just like a Sentinel. But when you look at the original Sentinels, the way they were drawn before, they weren't as much like this. So it's more like as the Sentinels matured into what they were going to start to look like for most of the X-Men's history, they started looking more like this than they did in the original comic. But that they appeared, I guess number 15, I think, right? Or 14 or something. So there you go. So Mighty Thor #140. Pretty awesome there. Happy to have that. We'll dig into some of my favorite artists here. So next we have Adam Hughes giving us Betty and Veronica #1. Really like that one. Some great Adam Hughes art there. We'll give you the slow down, as I like to do with some Adam Hughes work. Look at that. Yeah. I like that. That's a good one. So pick up a few Betty and Veronica stuff. I like some of the older stuff. And then, of course, you get Adam Hughes doing some of that. You can't help it, right? And you got Western Ghost Fighters. Look at that. Western Gunfighters #2. So here we have, this is a square-bound book, so pretty cool on that. I like that. And it says, let's see, Western Ghost featuring the guns of the Ghost Rider. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And it says, with the terrible threat of Tarantula. So that's not the Spider-Man's Tarantula. That's a different Tarantula. So, but pretty cool. It's got a bunch of Apache Kid story. So anyway, I just couldn't pass up that awesome Ghost Rider. And usually I like the Dick Ayers run. Of course, it's a Dick Ayers creation as the original Ghost Rider, the Western Ghost Rider. Later changed the name to Phantom Rider. So this Western Gunfighters actually comes after his standalone volume of Ghost Rider. So, and this is a Herb Trimpe cover. So pretty cool there. So I like that. That's awesome. Next, you know how we do. We got Betty Page Comics. This is a one-shot put out. It's got multiple stories. It's put out by Dark Horse when they had the property for a minute. And right now I think Betty Page is put out by Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a Dave Stevens cover. So there you go. Pretty wild stuff there. It says featuring 3 complete stories including Jumpin' Jungle Jive, which I assume that's what this is. So a lot of jumping, jungle, and jiving going on there. So you're welcome, YouTube. Next, we got another pickup from the Golden Age. We got Major Inepac, The Space Ace, #1. Now this book has an interesting history, and if you want to know it, you have to wait for a longer video. But but basically the quick story on this one is that this is like a precursor to like Ovaltine. So it's basically it's an Ovaltine product, a chocolate drink. So this was a comic put out, and these used to go for some pretty good money. This from 1951. Look at the condition of this, is like perfect, Very, very thin comic. Needs a press, which I can take care of. Me and Bruce will get to work on that. But pretty nice. And what happened is that this book used to go for some pretty good money. And then, as you Golden Age collectors will know, there are file copies out there. People say, what's a file copy? Well, real easy, real quick. A file copy is when there's a warehouse or some sort of other pre-distribution collection has been found of a particular book. And a lot of times there'll be like, hundreds of them in a warehouse, just sealed in boxes, and they're all going to be near mint. And so when those hit market, the price of those drop. And if you're looking for a nice piece of promo work from the Golden Age, you can pick this book up on eBay for like $5 to $10. And I'm telling you, there's hardly any other pieces of paper from 1951 that you'll be able to pick up as cheap as this and have in your collecting. It's a pretty cool book inside and out. And if you're a chocolate drink lover like, Yoo-Hoo or Nestle Quick or any of that stuff that nobody pays me to talk about, you might like Ovaltine. So there you go. Next we got Swamp Thing #9. This was on my Swamp Thing list. So my Swamp Thing list for my personal set that I'm trying to collect is House of Secrets 92, and I've got that. Swamp Thing #1, which I do not have. Swamp Thing #9, and I forget the number, but it's the one that has Batman on the cover, and it's within the first 10. It's a Wrightson cover. So at first I wanted to collect all the Wrightson covers in Swamp Thing, which I think are 1 through 10. But I leaned off that, and instead I figured I'll just get the ones I really, really like. And so now I'm only missing 2. So I got 2 out of 4. So woohoo for that. And the condition of this book is neither here nor there. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I don't get real caught up on 9/8 or any high conditions. But this one's pretty decent. I give it probably about a 4 at best. But it's a pretty decent book, and the main art is there. And I think this is the best Swamp Thing kind of portrait cover that there is. I think Wrightson does an amazing job, and I like the nose bridge on that. I like that he doesn't have the big, thick, parts that come out on the sides down to his neck. This is the version of Swamp Thing that I like the best as far as how he's pictured. And there he is, by the master and creator, Bernie Wrightson. We got a little bit more Adam Hughes action showing up here. We got Betty and Veronica, #275. She says, "What? I'm painting, see?" She's painting her nails. See that? And then also, I think Betty is painting the 275 in the back. So the actual, you wouldn't see that right away, but the actual thing's being painted there. So there's some pretty good art there by Adam Hughes, of course. Good stuff. I like that. Next we have Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., #2. This would be from volume 2, I believe. So that's actually a cover swipe from, I forget which number it is. I want to say maybe 16 or so, from the original Nick Fury run, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. run, volume 1. So this is still a Steranko cover, but the coloring's a little bit different. But pretty cool book nonetheless. I guess we'll end it with that one. Got tons more to go through. There'll be a few more haul videos coming through the week. So I hope y'all enjoyed this, and we'll catch you next time on BUB'S Comics. Thanks. Read a comic. Bye.